We're going to go back to, there she is. We're going to go back to this video. And we're going to react to The Living Nightmare of Jake Paul. Okay.
I'm gonna eat your ass. I'm gonna beat your ass.
Yeah, there's some YouTubers out there who just eat, sleep, and breathe clout.
I'm gonna be spending $500,000 on my sister Lexi's 21st birthday.
If you're not too careful, you can really let content rule your life.
Kirsten and I are gonna be playing the Touch My Body challenge.
You can get to the point where nothing else matters besides deciding which of your friends and family members to grossly exploit for ad revenue. Sorry, I don't know what that was. The truth is, YouTube promotes a lifestyle that isn't always the healthiest. If you want to make videos for a living, especially for a significantly younger audience, there are some things you may need to do in order to make it to the top. Sometimes the cost of that Lamborghini involves dangling you and your friends above a pool of cow manure.
Literally, it is poop everywhere, guys. We're going to be lifted in the air by this excavator over the pile of poop to see who can hang in the air the longest.
Or writing, shooting, and editing one of the most disliked music videos in the history of the website. Or tasing people sexually? Okay, yeah, scratch that last one. What the f am I looking at? Throughout his nearly 7 years of being a self-described problem child, Logan Paul's baby brother has garnered his own share of negative headlines. Whether he's being sued by his own neighbors, shunned by Disney Channel, sued over a crypto scam, denying the existence of global health crises, sued over another crypto scam, or called out by pretty much everyone who was ever remotely associated with him professionally. The full extent of this guy's behavior is way darker and more prolific than I ever could have imagined, honestly. We're all familiar with the name Jake Paul, but how many of us really know how deep his insidious behavior goes? Or a better question, how many of us want to know? I don't, but also I'm a masochist, so join me in documenting scandal after scandal of yet another disreputable entertainer who continues to bring shame to the Paul family.
Jake Paul was caught again promoting a scam and someone's going to jail.
The truth is, by now, Jake Paul is the worst Paul brother.
Influence, which was one of the most blatant scams I've ever seen from a YouTuber that weirdly didn't really affect Jake Paul at all.
With a name that sounds surprisingly biblical, Jake Joseph Paul was born on January 17th, 1997 in Cleveland, Ohio, raised alongside, yeah, I don't even have to say. Unsurprisingly, he and his older brother had a pretty similar upbringing in Westlake. Being only a few years apart, the two played sports together, went to the same schools, and of course each developed a passion for making videos when Jake was handed his first ever camera by his dad at 10 years old. Like Logan, Jake really began to hone his skills thanks to the help of Vine, a defunct and worse version of TikTok that you can hear me talk more about in my Logan video. God knows I'm not explaining it twice, sorry. The quick summary is that Jake and Logan blew up pretty congruent to each other. To the passive viewer, there wasn't really a huge difference between them and their Vines, other than Logan seemed to be a bit more comfortable in front of the camera, whereas you could tell it didn't always come as natural to Jake. Can't blame him for that, but it was an awkwardness that would follow his on-screen presence for years to come.
You want a DJ? Yeah. You a DJ? You know what?
You want DJ?
I'm a DJ. You always doing the music stuff.
Oh my god! Oh! Yeah, that one hurt.
You're always doing the music stuff, man.
He didn't first go viral until 2014, when he was quickly pushed over 500,000 followers, and before long began getting recognized in public, putting his military aspirations to the side to focus full-time on becoming an entertainer.
He wanted to do military
Yes, you heard
shit?
that
Of
correctly.
course.
Had he not blown up to become the loudmouth megastar we all know him to be, we could be living in a reality where Jake Paul is a Navy SEAL. Maybe he could have met Dan Bilzerian. Hey, look at that. Jake's account saw about the same level of success as Logan's, reaching over 5 million followers and 2 billion loops by the time Vine met its untimely demise. Only unlike Logan, Jake already had an even more lucrative career alternative lined up in the meantime.
Contestant number 3.
Oh, sorry, we're not there yet. There we go.
Heyo, I'm Jake Paul from Bizarre Vark, and you're watching Disney Channel. Oh, no looker. First ever. Oh, nailed it. What up, Darrens and Ameliacs? I'm here with my collab partner, Amelia.
I did not know this, by the way. I had no fucking idea that, like, Disney is responsible for this madness. Like, genuinely awful. Yeah, I didn't know. I learned about this, like, recently. She wants freedom. She yearns to be free.
And we're gonna do some intense stares I cooked up.
Thanks for coming to the lair, Amelia.
Lasting a grand total of 3 seasons, Bizarre Vark was a Disney Channel original series from the late 2010s that starred Jake Paul, Madison Hugh, Ethan Wacker, and Olivia Rodrigo. And I have to say, as a self-admitted sour enjoyer, seeing these two interact makes me feel like I'm having a brain bleed.
Dirk and Kirk, do you have a sister named Smirk?
Who do you work for?
For those that haven't heard of the show, which I'm guessing is all of you, Bizarre Vark was basically a dollar store iCarly. Disney wanted to capitalize on the growing popularity of influencers, so they made a show about them and hired Jake Paul, who pretty much just played himself, but somehow couldn't even do that right.
Dirk rides a shopping trolley into a brick wall.
Yeah, just like his vlogs, this show is specifically manufactured for children. But unlike his vlogs, it actually stayed age appropriate. Outside the character Dirk Man, Jake wasn't your typical Disney actor. He was also building a platform outside of mainstream television, posting almost every day to his new YouTube channel, which even featured some footage of him and his fellow cast members working on set.
What the fuck? Is that Dasha? She fucking looks like Dasha a little bit, whoever this person is.
Working on set.
It's a pet rat.
But this outlet is where we begin to see a bit of a problem, because it was what he was doing outside of Bizarre Vark that eventually landed him in hot water with the network.
First of all, I want to say, like, I loved everyone that was a part of Bizarre Vark and all of the castmates. Olivia, Madison, DeVore, Ethan.
Despite being literally handed one of the most sought-after career opportunities a young actor could dream of, Jake wasn't super concerned with keeping his spot at Disney. In fact, he wasn't truly willing to put anything above his online growth. And who can blame him? Why show up to work at a studio to film a show nobody's gonna watch when you could just make the same, if not more money on your own by throwing a million thumbtacks on the floor, or hanging a bunch of tasers from the ceiling, or tasing your best friends? Sorry, can we just acknowledge the Paul brothers' obsession with tasing? I feel like at a certain point it's just odd.
Electricity.
Other than Bizarre Vark, Jake was famous for being a public nuisance, and truthfully, Disney had to have known that. They were fine with his behavior to an extent, but eventually had to draw a line in the sand when his pranks, parties, and fires caused so much of a disturbance, his neighbors threatened to file a class action lawsuit. Come 2017, and Jake was being slammed by a wave of negative press as he and Team 10 continued making noise across the internet. Naturally, it was only a matter of time before his online life clashed with his Disney career. And once he climbed on top of that news van, it was all over.
A lot of the neighbors are complaining. They're very upset.
No, why?
They say that you've created a living hell out here, that it's like a circus, Yeah, it is.
Oh, the fans.
I mean, but people like going to circuses, right?
Disney announced they were severing all ties with Jake Paul in July 2017, writing his character Dirk completely out of the show in the middle of producing season 2, which Jake claimed was a mutual decision at the time, of course, but anyone with a half-functioning nervous system knew exactly who made that call. Disney wanted nothing to do with the new content he was making, but that content wasn't about to slow down. Indicated by a statement he wrote on Twitter, this was only the beginning of his new personal brand. And honestly, I wish he were lying. Team 10 was a group of architects who challenged the doctrinaire approach to urbanism in 1950. Oh wait, it's the wrong one. Jake Paul's Team 10 was a group of social media stars all living under the same roof of a multi-million-dollar LA mansion, taking turns collaborating with one another and creating drama. Despite Jake's disputable claims that Team 10 was the first ever content house, in reality they were just following in the footsteps of FaZe Clan, Our Second Life, and even Team Crafted, which of course is a disaster of its own that we don't have enough time to get into today. Team 10's original members though consisted of this guy, that dude, this person, these two guys, and Alyssa Violet, who was the first—
Wait, the fucking Dobrey twins were Team 10? What the fuck, Pogger? That's like old heads of the fucking show know what I'm talking about. The Dobreys, dude. The worst thing I've ever heard about the Dobreys. Other than that, they're fucking infallible. They're content monsters. They've never done anything wrong. This fucking guy just plops down, dude, and is just chilling. As I tried to
many to leave after breaking up with Jake.
Are you mad? Are you mad? I'm annoying. I'm so annoying.
The roster was then updated to include these people. Not all of the names here are totally relevant considering they had all been replaced by the time Team 10 officially fell apart. That's right, every single member aside from Jake hardly lasted more than 2 years at most. And the reasons for that vary, but we'll get into those later. Assuming you weren't 6 years old in 2017, allow me to paint a picture of what Team 10 was famous for.
We have a very funny thing that is about to go down right now, cuz we made up this letter that basically is saying that Nick is going to get deported. It's like so legit. Got the stamp on it and everything. Is this mean?
I mean, yeah.
Jake Paul told the New York Times his ultimate vision was to create an empire of dozens of talent under me, to take my power and multiply it so that I become bigger than myself. Which sounds like a supervillain origin story. Who talks like that? The official arrangement was that an influencer signed to Team 10 could live in a giant Beverly Grove mansion for free as long as they were producing content that Jake could monetize, as every member was reportedly required to sign a contract that allowed Jake to take 10 to 20% of their ad revenue for up to 5 years, even if they left the group, which maybe to an impressionable teen didn't sound like the worst trade. After all, this is Jake Paul we're talking about. He can make you famous, man, come on. That's at least what AJ Mitchell thought when he signed on to Team 10 at 14 years old. The original Team 10 lineup consisted of an age range of 14 to 19 with no official parental supervision whatsoever. Minors were basically meant to fend for themselves in a wannabe frat house led by this man. I don't think I have to explain why that's a recipe for disaster. While AJ appeared to be living a life of luxury on social media, he claims he was also deprived of food and made to sleep on the floor during his time at Team 10. As he himself will tell you, Jake's true business model was far from the carefree utopia he claimed to offer.
They have this electromagnetic machine that's basically like a torture device.
But it may be hard for me to do this next part sober, which is why I'm especially grateful for today's sponsor, Vance Global. Vance Global is an all-natural CBD company based out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, delivering quality hemp-derived products at affordable prices. As long as you're at the legal age, just to be clear. Look, I'll just level with you here. This is my new favorite company, partly because because they didn't even give me a script. I can say whatever I want here, just completely unfiltered. I could throw in some fart sound effects or a picture of gangster SpongeBob, and I bet they wouldn't even care. These guys are only focused on delivering quality products, which is why they sent me over $100 worth of their gummies. Popping some of these bad boys is the only way I've been able to keep myself from having a coronary as I sit through 8 hours of this shit. See, they'll let me curse too. And while you should always be responsible and never take more than one gummy at a time, that just means one bag will last you even longer, which is already good for me as someone who doesn't have the best tolerance for these kinds of things already. You can rest assured that Vance uses only the most organic ingredients, putting a heavy emphasis on the integrity of their products, with everything being lab tested. And lucky for you, it took so long with this integration that they actually just came out with brand new carts that contain 85% full spectrum CBD distillate and 15% Maui Wowie terpenes. Not to mention their brand new line of HHC gummies and carts that just hit the market too. In fact, you can find all of their content listed on their website.
Holy fuck, that's a long ass sponsor. Holy shit, sorry.
With Jake's determination to convert any and every conceivable scenario into content to further the brand, privacy must have been borderline impossible to find living at the Team 10 house. In addition to Jake chainsawing through doors to wake people up in the morning and smashing his assistant's property for funny videos, 9-year-olds were lining up and down the block in hopes of catching a glimpse of their favorite band of influencers after their address leaked online. These disturbances, though, didn't cause Jake to stop and reflect on how his negligence could be negatively affecting the people around him, and instead only seemed to fuel his desire to become YouTube's new $1 million bad boy. I really can only describe his—
You could have at least watched the entire ad while you watched this incredibly long video made by someone else. The ad is still shorter than this 3-minute ad break. Man, shut the fuck up, bitch. Why is it that motherfuckers come in here, random chatters come in here and like tell me how to react to a fucking video made by a friend of mine who is a familiar content creator, a friend who's been on this fucking show. Oh my lord, dude. Like, what? You guys are the biggest fucking bots on the absolute planet. It is mind-boggling to me. I didn't even do a fucking, the funny part is they watched it on their own. They skipped the ad too. Yeah, I know. It was a debate? What do you mean? It's not a debate. It's not the top of the fucking hour.
Content
it's
as Nick Jr. on crack.
It's a bad debate.
Clickbait and controversy financed the mansion he absolutely neglected. But this perfect
also, I watched most of the ad regardless.
Storm allowed for titles like "He Jumped Off Our Roof," "Traffic Slip and Slide," and all those wonderful taser videos we love so much to garner tens of millions of views on the regular. This was when YouTube pranks were at peak popularity, and Jake wasn't about to miss his chance to make an easy dollar. Even if it meant tricking Tessa Brooks into being handcuffed to a basketball goal only to taunt her with a very real taser. In another prank on Tessa titled "Barry."
Bro, Jake Paul is literally what happens when you got the kid that like tortured animals for fun, have a YouTube channel and gain mainstream popularity. It blows my mind. I don't know any of this shit because like I'm 31 years old and I didn't follow any of this. And I just always thought that he was just like a dude with really some fucked vibes. You know what I mean? Not realizing that the vibes are worse than just like fucked.
Buried alive prank freak out. Jake starts by detailing
Hasan doesn't support small content creators. Why would you say that? Like Jay Aubrey is 1 million subscribed. I 100% support him. He's not a small content creator, and I raid small content creators every fucking night. But you don't hear that. You hear your mom screaming as I raid her pussy every night too. So you unfortunately don't get to see the raids that happen at the end of the broadcast because you're too busy trying to fucking muffle the sounds of your mom screaming with pleasure. Okay?
how he and his buddies are about to smother her with blankets while she's asleep and wake her up with ambulance sounds to simulate the inside of a coffin.
You go into someone's room while they're sleeping, you put a ton of blankets over them. It's like a lot of weight and like pressure, and they feel like they're in a coffin. And guys, this would only work because like they're just waking up, and then they're still asleep while all of this weight is on them, and you play an ambulance noise, and then you start to talk like it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, there's no, cancel culture is so fucking fake. There's no better representation of like the fakeness of cancel culture than what this is. Like, Jake Paul has only gotten more and more famous throughout this process, throughout this time, as he has become more and more unhinged in his commentary and his content. It's like all the stuff that he's done is just like, how can I be the most unhinged sociopath you've ever seen?
She's gonna make it through it, she's gonna make it through it, and then they freak out.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Are you okay?
No, that was so scary.
Are you mad at me? You couldn't breathe?
No.
I can only imagine like waking up to that.
And then it just cuts to him opening fan mail.
I was reading through all of it last night. I'm gonna get to opening the rest of it, but thank you guys so much for sending the fan mail.
And again, even if this was fake and Tessa was totally on board with the prank, Jake still takes the time to explain to his audience of 4-year-olds how to do it themselves. It doesn't excuse anything when the behavior is—
oh, isn't this guy the England is my city guy? This one?
Being promoted. You'd think Jake—
I like him. That's the only one I remember out of everyone in this crew, I guess.
Such a younger audience might cause him to be a little more responsible with what he was putting out, but no. He'd rather prank his friends into thinking their fellow Team 10 member bled to death in the bathroom.
Oh my god. That's not funny.
Okay, to be fair, like some of this stuff is like not as bad as others. Like I wouldn't even consider this one to be like all that sociopathic, especially because like most of this shit's fake. Like that one's fine. You know what I mean? Trauma lol. No, I mean, it's just like, it's like a lot of this is fake. Remember, it's like, it's literally fake.
What is that? That's not funny. That's not—
No, I'm saying like, obviously he didn't actually kill the person. No, I meant it's fake as in like their reactions are fake. They know what's going on.
Jake Paul is for savage, baby.
Yeah, these people were basically living in the Team 10th circle of hell. Thank you. But the group finally reached their peak of success with It's Everyday Bro. And while it may have come out 6 years ago, I will never not laugh at England is my city. Godspeed, Nicholas Crompton. This was his first and only video to crack almost 300 million views. But such sudden exposure also introduced Team 10 to a new wave of criticism they couldn't avoid. And being lambasted on such a public stage meant Jake's dark secrets couldn't stay hidden for long.
I don't even want to talk about it because like it makes me so uncomfortable and like I just hate mentally going
Aren't these people all like friends with one another too?
back to where I was in that state of mind and just even thinking about that situation because it's just so emotionally draining.
Because Team 10 threw more than a few disses her way in their biggest song to date, Alyssa Violet took to her YouTube channel to clear the air on her ex Jake after the two went their separate ways earlier 2017. Starting from the very beginning, Alyssa talks about first meeting Jake at a Logan Paul meet and greet her senior year of high school. After getting to know one another, Jake promised to make her dream of becoming an actress and model a reality by adding her to the Team 10 roster. The two would become pretty close from that point on, as moving into a mansion together only strengthened their bond. The only issue was Jake never made the relationship official, purposely leaving Alyssa in the dark by showing her love one second, then treating her with absolute disdain the next.
And like he knew exactly what he was doing to me. He like played all these mind games. He would literally tell me he loved me one day and then tell me he hates my guts the next day. He told me he loved me one night and then like a couple days later he flew out this girl from Ohio. They were like hooking up in Ohio. That happened all the time.
She never quite knew.
Damn, bro. He was dating Alyssa Violet while simultaneously like, you know, they don't make him like they do in Ohio. You know what I mean?
What to expect as she described mind games that included Jake being able to see other people but not the other way around, flying various girls out to the house night after night, knowing exactly how it made Alyssa feel. She described having to put on a facade around these women and pretend she wasn't bothered by the fact they were sleeping with the person she loved.
You would kick her out of the room they shared to have sex with other women. I'm not gonna lie, we should just not know this about anyone, especially not about Jake Paul. Like, I don't know. There's like, I love Jaubrey's videos. I think he does a very good job of like making it like hyper specific, going through all of the details. Some of it I would consider to be minutia that I would leave out, but also a lot of the other stuff is just like, I don't know. I just feel like it feels weird to like know this stuff about anyone.
Even when she could hear it happening in the next room.
Like I'd hear the front door open, Jake would come home with like a...
Bro, this person has spammed this nonstop. Okay, I don't know. Ludlock. This is the Ludlock. Okay, calm down. Get a wireless lav mic for the puppy time. Check the Ludlock out. Hey, this is the Ludlock. The wrong shit is doing it without consent. And then back to the Ludlock. Okay, we'll look at it later, okay? God damn, Ludbud's in here working overtime. Jesus Christ.
Girl, my stomach would just drop. My heart would just like start beating like so fast. I felt like I was gonna like be sick. I'd just get back from the gym, I'd be cooking food, and then all of a sudden I'd hear them upstairs like I could hear it. I could literally hear it. Like, do you know what that does to a person that you like love, and then you could just hear them like banging another girl upstairs? And that's happened so many times. Like, it's not, something clicks in your head.
If you ever had true feelings for someone, you can probably imagine how heartbreaking this must have been. Alyssa stated that she didn't know why she stayed for so long, other than she loved Jake and was determined to do everything she could to make it work. Not to mention she too had signed 5 years of her life and 20% of her own ad revenue over to Jake. So, of course, she felt a little trapped.
There's nothing I could do about it because, like, it's his house. I'm in a contract with him. I'm basically where I'm at because of him.
Dude, why does like a demon high school bully from Ohio have these like incredible entertainment contracts? Like, he was doing 360 deals with like, you know, girls that he was like fake dating. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is happening? Like, this motherfucker is the inner scope of like what, YouTube? Like, how? What demonic lawyers are like, this contract is gonna be so fire? You know what I mean? It literally blows my mind. Like, you have whole ass adults that went to whole ass big ass law schools, okay, past the fucking bar and shit, that are doing contract law, and they're basically writing these contracts for 14-year-olds, like 360 deals. How is that legally permissible? Like, I don't even understand how any of that shit would have held up in court in any capacity.
And like, I didn't really have a place to tell him that he was wrong, even though he was really, really wrong.
Jake was able to maintain total authority over everyone there, determining who got the most exposure, who left, etc. It wasn't until Alyssa began treating him the way he had treated her for so long that he finally dropped her from the team. Just like that, Alyssa was cut from the massive empire she helped build and left homeless, only to be dissed by her friends on a major song a few months later. Obviously, you'd have to understand her frustration, going so far as to call Jake an emotional abuser in a later interview.
And I want to clear the air because he's not like a physical abuser, like he's not an abuser, but it's mentally and emotionally.
Except for the fucking taser stuff, like, except for what you saw on camera that we, you know, legally were forced to do, kind of, with this insane banger 360 deal. Like, holy fuck. Mind-blowing shit.
100%. Every day, 2,000 times a day. I can't even remember a conversation where it was like me walking away like feeling good about myself.
And really, it's no wonder that despite this happening 5 years ago, the two have never really been able to reconcile.
Whenever Jake would come over the house, he's been to my house like 2 times in Ohio, like back in the day, and like no one liked him.
Oh my gosh, she's also from Ohio. Dude, what the fuck? Okay. Dude, Ohio needs to be stopped, okay? As a state, as an institution, everyone needs to just, you know, we need to stop participating in the fucking nonsense that is Ohio, okay? What the hell is in the water, dog? What's happening?
Him, like, so that should have been a red flag.
When's the last time you've talked to him?
I have had him blocked for years. I don't I always
He's still unblocked? You still have him unblocked?
Wow.
That kid's so problematic. I'm like, I don't even want to deal with it.
Alyssa could see the red flags very early on, and while it may have been hard then, it was probably for the best that she escaped Team 10 when she did. Plus, the diss track she made with Rice Gum still goes pretty fucking hard. Among the next major members to leave were Ivan and Emilio Martinez, who Jake flew out from Spain to live with everybody in the Team 10 house around the same time the
Bro, you act like LA's better? No, it's not. There's a lot of people from Ohio out here, like the Paul brothers. Okay, so no, it's not.
Group was forming. Shortly after, another set of twins left the group.
Oh, my goats, dude, the Dobres. The content legends, dude, content warlords, honestly.
Interestingly enough. While staying in LA, they were subjected to frequent racial discrimination and harassment from Jake himself, who made fun of their English and mocked them with slurs, taking it to such an extent that Jake prohibited them from learning English since it made for funnier content, according to them.
He started making fun of us because our English. He was saying to us all the time, like, we found out what was and we were like, he cannot joke about that. There's in blogs that he's calling us Martiners. We tried to get a teacher just to know English, just to learn English, how we're gonna learn English. And they were like, no. Why? Because
he's so racist. He was fucking being racist against Spanish motherfuckers, bro. Like, that's Ohio racism right there. You know what I mean? When you're calling Spanish motherfuckers who are also white, like that's like European level racism. You've leveled up at that point. Like, what are you fucking what are you, Benjamin Franklin? Like, what the fuck is this? Like, wow, these swarthy Spaniards.
it was fun for their blogs. Like, it was like, yeah, it's fine because it's like funny.
They were also made to sleep in the living room for a total of 4 months after being told they'd be getting their own room. But even when they got a room, they were still mortified of going to sleep since Jake would make them leave their door unlocked so that he could wake them up with whatever prank he saw fit. Such a lack of privacy prompted them to ask Jake if they could live somewhere else, but Jake wouldn't allow.
B slurs against Latinos, not Spaniards? Yeah, no shit. That's why it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like next level, you know what I mean? That's the point. That's why it's like kind of funny as well.
Allow it. When the two went back to Spain to see their family, Jake and friends ended up destroying a wall of their fan art for the sake of a vlog, ripping apart the twins' room when they weren't there to do anything about it.
Goodbye, Martinez room.
Bro, this dude literally turned this fucking mansion into a... He turns mansion into a literal fucking sweatshop for content for children. He was literally doing child labor sweatshop content where he basically tortured them.
It's every day, bro! Oh! Martinez, I'm home! Woo! This is fun, man.
Of course, this all gets worse when they accuse Jake of holding their money hostage, as Jake and whoever else was the higher up at Team 10 refused to send any of it back to their family in Spain who could use the help.
We did a brand deal with Team 10. We were like, yo, Team 10, can you guys send it to my mom? To my mom because she needs money. Guys, I asked them.
I mean, this is classic.
About bank account in LA. And they're like, you guys don't have visas, so you guys can. And then I found out now you can have a bank account in LA without any permission. So the reason is like they were lying to us to have our money.
It's worth noting that they've since forgiven Jake, it seems, but all of this does go on to show what a house of horrors this place really was.
You wanna go back to Spain? Oh. You wanna go back to Spain?
14-year-old AJ Mitchell once stated he drank so much at a Team 10 party he blacked out, telling the New York Times about parties the group would attend, in which 20 to 30-year-olds would be mingling with teenagers, leading AJ to start a sexual relationship with a woman nearly a decade older than him whom he had met at an influencer party, stating, "I was just a baby. I had a baby face. I feel like that's just weird now." His mother telling the Times, "Had I known anything about any relationship with a girl 10 years older than him, I would have had the law involved." But AJ kept the full scope of his experiences hidden from even his parents until he left the group in late 2016, just months ahead of Jake being forced to move for turning his ritzy LA neighborhood into a living hell for neighbors. See, Jake has never been known for having much regard for the people around him. In fact, it's quite the opposite. His brash and uncaring demeanor is what fuels his ego and bank account. But that doesn't mean a few haven't tried to pick apart his psyche either. Enter YouTube's favorite animal lover, Shane Dawson.
Oh,
love that specific attention though.
oh no.
With like the neighbors. Like I didn't like beefing with them, you know?
Premiered on September 20.
So what happened with Shane Dawson? Like, what was he doing? He was doing like image rehabilitation for some of the most controversial YouTubers or something, and then like, again, another person that I like never really watched, never really understood the appeal of. Like, there's so many motherfuckers like this on YouTube where I just like didn't really get it, and then they just like kind of quietly. Hide your cats. He was basically doing that, yeah, with Jake and Jeffree Star.
25th, 2018, the mind of Jake Paul aimed to examine the relationships and psychology of a man who had become pretty much despised across the entire internet, taking place over the span of 8 episodes with a runtime of about 7 hours.
It does blow my mind that in like the new wave of content creators, a lot of people get mad at content creators in general, like in this day and age, like, you know, Gideon being an example, or even fucking like I Show Speed, when you think about like the shit that Speed has done, and he's like 17 and he does like unhinged shit. A lot of that pales in comparison to like what the fuck Jake Paul did for like, you know, almost a decade. It is kind of weird. Like, bro, Shane Dawson openly did blackface for like 10 years. His rabbit hole is the craziest shit ever. He busted on his cat. What the fuck? Okay, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Okay, just stop. Just don't tell me anymore. It's one of those things where it's like I've seen too much. I don't want to know. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. It's like I'm happy in my fucking freak side of the world where like I talk about the unhinged, manic, psychotic fucking losers in the Republican legislature. Like, you know what I mean? I just...
hours. For perspective, I barely publish 7 hours of content a year. I want you to imagine for a second having to work on this series and spending tens of hours in a room with these two individuals.
You do not know how bad Shane Dawson and other creators were? No, because like when this shit was popping off, I would only ever cover it if it made it into like mainstream media news, and rarely ever that, because since the beginning of mankind, I am of the mindset that there has always been content creators or entertainers that have basically done like chaotic things like this to appeal to a young audience that is looking for this kind of thing. Like that, I always say like kids have an anarchist tendency, right? And I don't mean like abolishing unjustifiable hierarchies type anarchists. I mean like literal anarchy, like in the colloquial sense, like burn shit to the ground. Kids are fucking little edgelords. They're insane. They're mean. They're little sociopaths. You know what I mean? They're not like learning. They haven't like developed their brain yet. So that's kind of always how it's been. Aiden Ross is doing it right now, you know what I mean? But he's doing, like, even then, a more tame version of that, I guess. Because, like, I mean, the Suicide Force shit was inhumane. He literally stood next to and filmed the dead body. Like, how did not a single person in that group find anything wrong with that? Yeah, no, but that was the brother. That was Logan Paul, which I agree was, like, so insanely unhinged. What is this? Shane was just constantly making racial, homophobic, transphobic, pedophilic comments just for clicks, but once he had Tana Mongoose pee on him, it was over. What? Tana Mongoose peed on... What? Remember, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. This is fine.
Then tell me there's a God. Despite a few insightful interviews with people like Alyssa Violet going into more detail about her relationship with Jake, the series didn't actually reveal too much about the inner workings of Jake's mind, with Shane and his associate Katie Morgan being widely criticized for not being subject matter experts, along with their liberal use of the word sociopath being a problem. If you ask me, anytime Shane made a documentary on someone, it was always because they needed their reputation saved. Shane was never as concerned about doing an objective analysis on his subjects more than he was trying to rehabilitate the careers of people who he figured deserved a second chance. And to give him credit, it did work. The series garnered over 175 million views and undoubtedly ended up shining a more positive light on Jake Paul. By that point, it was clear that whether you loved or hated the Pauls, they weren't becoming any easier to avoid.
So why did, like, Shane Dawson's, you know, like I said, a PR operation for, like, fallen YouTubers fall apart? What happened there? Oh my God.
Even clearer when Jake and Tana Mojo's subsequent relationship and marriage trended everywhere the following summer.
There we were. Shane Dawson's sociopath kids getting engaged at a nightclub in Las Vegas, Nevada.
As we know from prior instances, Jake has always had a tendency to fabricate his relationships with women when it directly benefits his financials. First, he pretended to have a relationship with Alyssa Violet. Then it was Erica Costell, another member of Team 10 who you can see in Jake's Losing My Virginity vlog. But after that time, everybody in Team 10 said,
dude, poggers, dude. Like, this is what I mean. It's like kids love this shit. Kids love a person with, like, financial freedom that has, like, a lack of like safeguards that adults have in kid format. That's why they love and gravitate towards Andrew Tate. He'll be like, oh, I have the sickest cars and I have sex with all the women. And if you're like 13 and you see that and you're like, oh my God, this guy's fucking awesome. Like, holy shit, I want to drive a fucking fast car and, like, have sex with women and shit. And yes, I said what I said. I'm thinking about myself as a 13-year-old. Back then, if I saw someone like Andrew Tate, I would have been like, this guy's the coolest, okay? We were all dumb as fuck at that point and still are, okay? That's it. 13-year-olds are fucking idiots. Like, it's just the truth. I myself was one. So basically, like, that's what Jake Paul is doing. That's what Andrew Tate did. It's just like a very target-rich environment. Very weird. I don't really understand the appeal. Okay? But, you know, yeah, when we were growing up, we had Jackass, and I didn't understand that either, for the record. Like, a lot of people will shit on me, but I never fully understood Like, I always thought it was weird. Like, I was like, why the fuck are these dudes just, like, hurting themselves? And I always hated Bam Margera because he was so disrespectful to his parents. I remember that. Like, I had a very specific disdain for Bam Margera because of how awful he was to his family members. Because I was like, he is disrespecting his family. This is unacceptable. My Turkish ass was like, that's not good. I don't know why. I don't know what kind of social conditioning warped my fucking brain. But, like, I literally could not stand to watch it. I was like a kid sitting at home watching these fucking videos going, I'm angry. Like, why is he behaving this way? The disrespect to his dad. Literally. Like, I could not believe it. I was like, it made me mad, okay? Bam is currently on the run from the law. Great. But I don't know what it is. Like, oh yeah, Bam was exactly like Jake Paul. I think like, no, it's the same vein of content. It's like being crazy, reactionary, edgy. It's because you're trying to appeal to the, you know, lowest common denominator. If Astaghfirullah was a person, exactly. So my point is, my point is basically that, like, first of all, but for the people who are saying, see, you weren't a stupid 13-year-old. No, I had plenty of fucking stupid tendencies, dude. I watched I watched Blue Mountain State. I love that. I watched Entourage. I love that shit. I always wanted to like come to America and live the American lifestyle with like models and whatnot. So I had like different kinds of bad, I certainly still had like different kinds of bad influences and what I considered to be like cool and good. I thought that at the top of the hour, there was no 3-minute ad break, for example. And then I realized if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with the Twitch Prime, or by getting gifted a sub if you're lucky. But like I said, oh, here's the 3-minute ad break now, by the way. Like I said, I just always considered that to be like disturbing and not for me. So I felt like there's something wrong with me for not appreciating this kind of content. But now, as I am older, as I grow older, and I look at shit like this, I get it. Like, I mean, it's not for me, but I understand that like children love this shit and they will always love this shit. And you're never going to be able to like fully stop it, I don't think. Unless you are the Chinese government and you have serious control over what kind of content your children watch. But if you don't have the Top G attitude, then your children are gonna watch Top G instead.
Fucking got married to each other, Jake realized the potential of faking an engagement for engagement. Wedding content is always going to do numbers, and frankly, I can't think of a better business move than when he and Tana's fake marriage generated millions of clicks and dollars. I still remember back then how everybody was talking about Jana every day, all of the time. Two of the most contentious celebrities getting together like this made for an inescapable effect.
Yeah, I missed all of this shit.
Grift, I have to say. And what's even more convenient than having a fight break out mere seconds after tying the knot? A live stream that goes up in flames. Not only did this thing start 4 hours after the scheduled time, the actual ceremony was a 10-minute laggy, glitchy mess with such poor connection you could barely hear what anybody was saying.
Could have prepared for this moment and written something special, but I wanted to freestyle this.
But with 70,000 fans all paying a $50 entrance fee to watch it unfold live from home, the stream still generated over $3 million
God damn, dude. That shit is crazy. These motherfuckers were... Dude, I do remember this side, on the business end at least. Like, when I was on Facebook, I know Logan and Jake were also on Facebook, and they were minting, dude. Like... I don't think people truly understand the amount of money that they made off of Facebook when Facebook opened up the fucking view cannon. They had like billions of fucking views on Facebook, and they were minting, they were printing, dude. They were selling so much merchandise off of Facebook. It was crazy.
Regardless of any technical issues. And I will be the first to say, I do not feel bad if you got scammed by this. Are you kidding me? $50 to watch two people who look like siblings pretend to get married? The thing wasn't even legally binding, but everyone pretty much knew that already and weren't shocked to see them break up just a few months later. What fans were more surprised at, however, was when Tana seemed to address the situation from a more sobered perspective.
And then my dad almost died that night. of the wedding, he had a stroke, and I was in Vegas, and I've been having all these dreams that he was gonna die, and then I thought he was gonna die, so I didn't go on the honeymoon. And this giant part of me wanted Jake so badly to stay and like take care of me, and when he didn't, I was so heartbroken. But it's again my fault. After talking about it with him afterwards, like Jake verbatim has said, you know, when someone dies, I celebrate their life and I move on. That's how I was raised. I wanted to fix this person who was so emotionally f***ed up, but then when it came time for them to like help me and fix me, they couldn't, and that was my fault for falling for that. You know?
The genuine pain here in her voice speaks volumes to me, and only confirms what we heard from Alyssa earlier, that Jake uses the people in his life like pawns. Pieces on a chessboard that only exist to further his own career. No matter how hard Alyssa or Tana may have tried to get Jake to engage with them on an authentic...
I barely heard what Tana was saying because, oh my fucking god, dude, look at this thing. How can this thing be real? Like, who lays like this? Look at the little toe beans, dude. Who fucking lays like this? Haha. Fuck, I love this dog so much. Holy shit. Anyway, back to just the gruesome nature of like cutthroat YouTube pseudo celebrities.
Human level, Jake absolutely refused to maintain any sort of relationship with them when the cameras weren't rolling, as his top priority is, and has always been, to make as much money off the backs of anyone in his life. And predictably enough, yes, that includes his 8-year-old Jake Paulers.
Let me real quick recap what Team 1000 actually was.
All right. The thing is, like, I think a lot of people are embarrassed to admit this, but I've never met like a Jake Pauler in the real world. And I suspect it's because, like, how old would they be now? Like, either they're too young or because, like, they just are, like high school? Is that what it is? Is that why? Like, would they be, like, in their 20s? You probably have. They just don't admit it. So they're, like, 18 to 20 years old now. Yeah, I mean, I just don't think that anyone would ever fucking come out and be like, I was a Jake Pauler. They went from Jake to Rice Gum to Aiden Ross.
I guess wasn't, because it was nothing.
If you thought Logan wasn't gonna let his brother in on all the scamming fun, you'd be sorely mistaken. In fact, Jake's own history of shady promotions dates way further back than any of Logan's. Jake effectively set the blueprint on how smarmy e-celebs everywhere could swindle money out from the bank accounts of their fans' parents with the launch of Edfluence in 2018. See, Jake was determined to teach
I remember
the
this
next
one. This one's
generation
really
of
funny.
young, up-and-coming influencers how to make it.
I remember this one. He was just like fucking, this is Hustlers University before Hustlers University, dude, literally. Except like unlike Hustlers University, at least there's like some kind of educational value, even though like the educational component is bullshit. At least it's not like a direct copy paste of like drop shipping how-tos. But it's still a classic scam, you know what I mean? Not saying much for the record. Like Hustlers University is like the worst kind of scam. This is like the second worst kind of scam. Do you see what I'm saying?
In such a competitive industry. And considering YouTuber had become one of the most sought after jobs among today's youth, it's no surprise the course became popular. For a brief period, children all over were paying the low price of just $7 to learn the ropes from their favorite role model and join the lucrative Team 1000. Only it wasn't actually $7, and Team 1000 never existed. As it turned out, the full actual course was split into several multi-episode chapters under a completely different package, costing you a grand total of $64 as opposed to the $7 price point he advertised. So really, you were paying $7 to watch a commercial for the real deal, which sure, it may have been a bit scummy and misleading as all hell, but at least the subject matter made up for it, right?
It is kind of ironic that we are talking about YouTube. Chapter 13. Oh,
Sorry about that, guys. It's actually chapter 12. Come on, Jake, what are you doing? Sorry, Jake, there's a lot of chapters. All right, Jake, let's do this.
As stated, Jake's mission was to equip you with all the appropriate skills needed to make it big like...
I would love to find out if there were any, like, honest-to-God YouTubers now that actually genuinely signed on to this. Like, can you imagine? Like, Drew Gooden was like, bro, I signed on to this. It changed my life. It made me go crazy. No, not like... No, Drew Gooden, like, obviously was a YouTuber already when he did this. I mean, like a Ludwig type, you know what I mean? Someone who, like, popped off in our generation of content creators, like someone that is from my generation. Like, fucking I Show Speed was a Jake Pauler, and, like, let's say he bought this, and then, like, that's how he became this this massive content creator.
To a lot of kids, this course was their one-way ticket to stardom. But according to...
I did meet Drew at Creator Clash. We briefly talked, unfortunately. We did not interact for that long. Big mistake. We got to do
anyone
that.
who actually tried it, this wasn't really the case.
The more subscribers that you're getting, the more money that you're making, so that you can spend even more time on making videos, which helps your videos do better. And so guys, be consistent. Stick to a schedule. Don't go away from it. One thing that you could do is...
Similar to almost every online training course peddled by greedy influencers, most, if not all of the material within could be found available elsewhere on the internet for free. Shockingly, Jake wasn't giving you any insight into how the algorithm worked or the secret recipe for success. He was more just rattling off some of the most basic advice you could ever give, like saying people naturally want to retweet and engage on super funny videos and memes. Or follow as many people as you can and encourage them to subscribe to you.
That's sick. The follow for follow scheme, dude. Love that.
Or suck up to bigger creators and leech clout off of them, something that, to Jake's credit, he does have a lot of experience doing. Unsurprisingly, the course was panned by critics as just a quick and easy money grab at the expense of those who sincerely believed Jake could offer anything of value to their budding careers. And if it weren't for these videos by Drew Gooden, it's possible the program would have gone even more ignored, considering that by 2020, Edfluence was completely shut down. Ending the course indefinitely out of nowhere, countless people out there paid $64 for a useless link to a dead end. And about a month after that...
I'm not gonna lie, seeing this kind of shit does piss me off a little bit, in the sense that, like, people do fucking go crazy over, like, you know, minor inconveniences or, like, minor mishaps that they turn into, like, major shit with their fandoms with respect to their own content creators. Like, when... Like, for the most part, at least, I don't know, I feel like a lot of my friends, people that I like, people that I have befriended on this space, they have careers that make them look like they are, you know, monastery monks in comparison to, like, literally people like this. And yet people still fucking lose their shit. It blows my mind. Like, bad people can get away with doing shit nonstop, and they do not lose a single part of their fucking fandom. They do not lose a single piece of their fucking fandom. Nobody cares about their hypocrisy. And then people turn around and still look at the perceived hypocrisy of those who present themselves as, like, I don't know, nice people online. Because they're like, nah, you can't be nice. It's fucking bullshit. You got to be a bad guy. No one is a nice guy. No one has these opinions truly. Yeah, just look at Trump. Is a great example. Exactly. It's kind of wild. It's kind of wild to consider. Kind of weird to see. If you're a scumbag, it's expected you to do shitty things, but when you're suddenly a good person, everyone wants to call you out on the smallest shit. Yeah, I mean, look at people that have done, like, you should have catered to a different audience then. The reality is that I wasn't trying to cater to a particular audience. I was just saying, the things I truly believe. You know what I mean? And the audience came because people started listening and thought, yeah, I kind of agree with this guy. That's the difference. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it.
He announced another course by the name of the Financial Freedom Movement, which he sold as an alternative to traditional higher education. Basically, it was supposed to be a more refined version of Edfluence from what I can tell. But whenever I try to access the site now, hey, color me surprised. For one reason or another, the thing kind of quietly fizzled out, but that doesn't mean it was the last of Jake's scams by any stretch of the imagination.
This guy's name is Puss Ripper. Why the fuck is this even like, what the fuck? Blow me in your house you bought with your fans' money even though you say you were anti-capitalist. I know anti-capitalism means anti-work or having a subscription revenue-based business model that surrounds, that revolves around content that you get for free.
Before Twitch gambling scandals were even a thing, Jake could be found making hundreds of thousands in sponsorship deals from Mystery Brand, a loot box company that allowed players to spend anywhere from $12 to $100 in hopes of winning fidget spinners, designer outfits, cars, and even houses. Yeah, that's literally how this thing was marketed. I'm not even joking.
I'm going for the car. The one and only real car, Rolls-Royce Phantom. 2018. 0.25% chance of winning the Rolls Royce. 99.75% chance of winning the shoes. Whoever made this site, you're a freaking genius.
For all intents and purposes, it was a gambling site, one that ridiculously tried to insist you could win decadent prizes like $1,000 shoes, all from a comparatively small investment. Only the people who bought into it ended up walking away with fake Bape hoodies, if they even received their item at all, with quite a few users reporting missing packages with fake tracking numbers. One user writing, "I spent $350 on items and $38 on shipping. 1 month and 3 weeks later, I have not received anything, and the status hasn't changed to shipped." And no surprise to anyone who made it past elementary school, the service was absolute dog shit. One of the most shameless attempts at robbery I've ever seen, with the $250 million mansion that—
Bro, this is literally, this is literally fucking NFT crypto rug pulls before NFTs existed as a way to like shellac your fucking fandom. Actually, also, I can't believe they put my house up for sale. That's kind of fucked up. Like, I didn't even realize that that was what was going on. I had to steal money from my millions of fans in order to be able to buy this outright with cash instead of doing this, gambling website.
they said you could win, not even being owned by the company.
Okay, let's start off with going for maybe an iMac.
See, you and I may have expected that, but Jake Paul's core audience didn't necessarily know better. The guy they developed a parasocial relationship with during the most impressionable stage of their lives had tricked them into blowing their parents' money on fake luxury items that, for the most part, were never gonna come, pocketing the presumed 6 figures he made off what everyone and their dog understands to be a blatant money grab. But just like Edfluence, he made off with a pretty decent chunk of change, so why stop there, right? As CoffeeZilla will tell you, Jake Paul has made quite the name for himself in the crypto space, to the extent that even the SEC knows who he is, which really is not what you want. As of 1 week prior to me writing this script, Jake was required by the government to pay a $400,000 fine for promoting an alleged crypto scheme alongside Lindsay Lohan and a few other celebrities, who are all said to have illegally touted cryptocurrencies owned by companies TRX and BTT, founded by Justin Sun, who was charged with fraud and market manipulation himself. Just an awesome circle jerk of amateur crooks, really. Jake's complete roster of crypto scams is so prolific, we don't even have time to detail all of them here. Just know the short list consists of MILF Token, Yummy Token, Stick Dicks, Safe Moon, Tronics, and Scared Devil NFT, earning him a combined net of about 2.
Okay, bro, after Stick Dicks, if you're still locking on to a fucking Jake Paul cryptocurrency thinking it's gonna be the one that takes you to the fucking moon, you deserve it. I'm sorry. Like, at a certain point, you gotta be like, dude, you know, I was with you on the fucking Ass Cheeks coin. I was with you on the MILF token. I was with you on Stick Dicks, but like, you have taken $450,000 of American fiat currency from me. I'm afraid I'm gonna fucking stop on this last one, okay? You gotta draw the line somewhere, you know?
$2 million, according to CoffeeZilla's analysis, as most of which have to do with Jake not disclosing that these were paid advertisements, something that the SEC does not view kindly, considering the hefty fines Kim Kardashian and DJ Khaled have both been required to pay in the past. But this wasn't Jake's first time dealing with the law, either. Apart from his COVID parties prompting the mayor of Calabasas to pass new restrictions across the entire city, Jake continued his streak of national infamy in 2020 when he got his house raided by—
Yeah, bro, they have so much fucking... They have so much money, dude. Like, this is not like fucking Twitch streamer money. This is like...
the FBI. If you know nothing about this story...
The reason why I'm bringing this up, for the record, is because... like, they got like generational wealth, you know what I mean? This is how much money, is this how much money XQC thought you made? I don't even think XQC has this kind of money. And he is fucking loaded, right? He's like out of control loaded. And even then, I don't think he has that kind of cash. What blows my mind about this is that, like, it's not that the abundance of wealth that they've been able to capture, because, like, that part makes sense. You're in entertainment. It's, like, one of the last viable fucking industries where you can make an absolute fucking killing. Mostly luck-based. But he still was doing these fucking schemes, dude. Like, that's what blows my fucking mind about this entire thing. Like, dog, you live in this, like, Calabasas mansion. You got, like, 11 sports cars. And you're doing a scam that's going to, like, net you maybe a sports car. Oh, no. He's dreaming again. Like, at that point, it makes no sense. Like, you're doing this in the most, like, weird, pathetic, pathological reasons. Like, there's no way you're doing this for anything other than the love of the game. You just want to fucking scam people.
Story. I understand that may sound like a lot, so let's back up a little bit.
Well, Jake Paul's attorney says he was out of state and not at his Calabasas home during that raid today. The FBI says they're investigating allegations of criminal acts.
On August 5th, 2020, footage of armored trucks driving down Jake Paul's neighborhood went viral across Twitter and TikTok as men dressed in full riot gear could be seen entering the Team 10 mansion and leaving with what appeared to be giant firearms, which, apart from some pretty good tweets, fueled wild speculation as to what Jake could have possibly done this time to warrant.
Okay, why? God, the American police departments have way too much fucking money, dude. Federal law enforcement in general, like, way too much motherfucking money, bro. You're doing a fucking raid on a YouTuber's compound.
A full-on FBI visit and confiscation. Not to mention the home of his friend being raided in Las Vegas that same day. At first, we really didn't have much to work with.
This guy, like, they brought the Ukrainian guy for this, you know what I mean? The Ukraine reporter for this. I covered this. Pretty sure I covered this, and I don't even remember it.
Not even his brother knew much when the news first broke.
I'll tell you what I know.
Nothing.
I know what you know. I don't know shit. I know my brother's okay. Physically, he's fine. But I don't know. I'm out of the loop on this one, guys.
It wasn't until a source from the FBI's Phoenix location told The Verge they were investigating allegations of criminal acts concerning a riot at an Arizona mall that took place in May of that year. An incident that Jake was actually charged for by the Scottsdale police back in June. See, Jake landed himself in hot water when he chose to vlog a protest for George Floyd. And when looting broke out, local police received over 100.
That's awesome. That's so funny. Oh my God. He tried to fucking monetize a Black Lives Matter protest. Oh yeah. Yeah. Law enforcement doesn't like that.
Tips and videos of Jake Paul supposedly engaging in unlawful assembly and criminal trespassing. And while Jake maintained he wasn't involved in any looting or vandalism, he was on camera accepting a stolen bottle of alcohol very clearly taken from the store that was being looted. I'm not even sure why he was there in the first place.
I did cover this.
I don't normally count on either of the Paul brothers to obtain any substantial documentation of civil rights protests, but hey, the charges were dropped about a year later and all was right in the world. With slightly fewer legal issues on his hands, Jake could finally go back to doing what he did best. Vlogging, I mean making music, I guess? If you hadn't heard about Jake Paul's short-lived music career he tried to get off the ground, I envy you. I think we can agree he wasn't particularly—
Bro, this is so funny. He's trying to be 4G auto blow on Ozempic. Why does he look like every fucking Miami rapper? Like stitches after the fucking laser tattoo removal. Oh my God, dude.
Particularly skilled at anything that didn't involve stirring up controversy. So when the shock and awe of his persona slowly wore off, he wasn't sure where to go next. He tried to revive Team 10 to no avail. Began making videos with Titus, or mini Jake Paul, which opens up another ethical discussion that we really don't have time to get into right now. And before his boxing career reached the point it's at—
Wait, he has a mini Jake Paul?
Now, Jake's existential dread was setting in big time. With nowhere else to go, Jake decided to throw himself into music. I don't know if I can play any of this stuff, since I assume it's copyrighted, but we can at least enjoy some of these lyrics. I came with the hits like Derek Jeter, keep a check inside the Louis like Even Stevens. My shit hitting top 50, I really don't think it is, man. It's true Jake had always rapped a little, but this was his first genuine attempt to make it such a focal point of his career, it seemed. Even after dropping several big tracks one after the other and collaborating with TV Gucci, Jake wasn't being taken seriously as a rapper. His predicament was becoming more apparent. Jake had really holed himself in with the age of the audience he had been garnering the past 5 years. His core demographic of children could only stay young for so long before they aged out of his content. Jake and his videos did not mature with his fans, and with the way things were going, he needed a way back into the spotlight. Inching dangerously close to becoming another washed-up clout chaser living in the shadow of someone more successful than him, boxing proved to be the only way out for Jake. Launching his official debut in 2020, Jake actually—
Yeah, looking at this shit makes me feel like Logan Paul objectively was like— I mean, he's also got the same fucking Ohio brain disease that Jake Paul has. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not even gonna put this on Ohio, okay? These guys are demons in their own right. I think Ohio doesn't deserve that kind of fucking branding, okay? All I'm going to say is this. Looking at Logan Paul and Jake Paul, objectively, they're both awful. They're in like a horrible off competition. Okay, they're doing a mid-off every day, all day. But like at least Logan Paul is like always been the one who kind of paves the way. And Jake Paul is just basically following suit in order to do like some level of like reputational cleansing. Obviously, I have said time and time again with respect to Logan Paul, like he could just like very easily not do some of this stuff that he has done. Like if he just like shaved off like 40% of the weird, like no reason to do this kind of scumbaggery, he would be like a perfectly fine content creator in his own light. You know what I mean? In his own, yeah, like he would just be fine. He would be fine if he did that. Whereas like with Jake, there is no like shave off. Like the damn near entirety of his content revolves around just being awful.
Actually made some pretty decent headway in the sport, winning his first 6 fights in a row. All this new confidence led to him famously calling out Conor McGregor and even Andrew Tate. But still, the people he had fought up until that point weren't exactly other boxers. He fought a YouTuber, a retired NBA player, and several UFC fighters. But to boxing purists, Jake was far from a real contender. So to put an end to the doubters once and for all, he finally fought professional boxer Tommy Fury in early 2023 and lost. Could be a hiccup in his career or the start of the end. Honestly, I have no idea. Time will tell if he's ever considered amongst the greats, but it's hard to deny he hasn't been able to expand his outreach and grow his bank account exponentially in the meantime. As recent as 2022, Forbes pinned Jake as the 46th highest paid athlete of that year, raking in a whopping $38 million, not including the extra $30 million he just made from fighting Tommy. I don't think Jake really cares a lot about what the boxing community thinks of him. The guy is making bank and is still clinging onto relevancy thanks to the mass publicity he gets from being boxing's new biggest heel. But that's not to say there haven't been more serious claims made about Jake either. And yes, there is a trigger warning here for brief descriptions of essay, so if you aren't comfortable with that, please skip ahead to the time code on screen now. On April 9th, 2021, TikTok influencer Justine Paradise published a video to her YouTube channel accusing Jake Paul of sexually assaulting her at the Team 10 house in 2019. Throughout the 20-minute video, Justine claims the two met through a mutual friend that summer, and that she visited his home on several occasions from June to July, which can be corroborated by text messages sent between herself and Jake. She alleges that during one of those meets, he backed her into a corner away from everybody else in the house and began kissing her, which she didn't have a problem with, thinking he wouldn't make her do anything that she didn't want to do. Though he continued to bring her into his room, she says, where he began putting her hands in places she didn't feel comfortable. When she attempted to move them away, she alleges he said, "If nothing's going to happen, what's the point?" before getting on top of her and making her perform oral sex. Afterwards, she states he became cold and stopped talking to her, as she was required to stay silent on account of a non-disclosure everyone who enters the house must sign. Jake has since denied all of Justine's claims through an attorney, telling the New York Times, "Our client categorically denies the allegation," prompting Justine to be sent death threats and harassment by his fans.
I'm getting so many threats in my DMs, not just from random people, but people who are in Los Angeles telling me that they're here so I need to watch my back. People saying that they will fight me if they see me. People saying that I need to kill myself. Like, there are so many messages of people telling me just to kill myself. And that's super overwhelming for me because I've never experienced this amount of hate on the internet before. It's so strange to watch so many people.
This is when Keemstar notoriously said, "Just close your mouth," when he sexually assaulted her. She got death threats from 8-year-olds. No, what probably happened in that situation is like, so Jake Paul, just like every other content creator, is not just like 8-year-olds that watch him. There's a lot of like, you know, whole ass adults with 8-year-old brains that also watch. But on top of that, this is a very unique phenomenon that like, there's a lot of people that just like enter the field, enter the fray for the love of the game. We saw this with the Tory Lanez Megan Thee Stallion shooting incident, where a lot of people that don't give a fuck about Jake Paul, a lot of people who would otherwise like hate Jake Paul, will jump in to just say like, "Fuck you, you fucking whore, you know, you probably deserved it." Like, they literally are just like looking for an opportunity to express their violently misogynistic desires. They're like mercenaries, yeah. So they basically just like jump on the train. They will never be a fan of Jake Paul. Like, when the moment turns around, they'll still turn around and fucking be like, "Yeah, fuck Jake Paul, I hate that guy." But they just ride for misogyny. There's a lot of people that do that. So, you know, that's it. That's kind of how it works.
People judge even the tiniest things I say, or if I'm looking off to the side when I'm talking, which I do a lot. It's so weird to have this much attention, and especially for so much of it to be negative. It's really hard.
Not even a week after.
Yeah, the dudes that called Jonathan Majors soft for wearing pink, then turned around and started riding for him when he was arrested for assault. Yeah. Like, you can ask the motherfuckers like to give you like 3 fucking Tory Lanez songs, and they don't got it. You know what I mean? They don't got 3. They have no interest. They have no. They're not fans of his music. They're just fucking fans of misogyny. Wait, hold on a moment.
After the initial claim came out, a model and actress by the name of Rayleigh Lawley, who had been working with Jake since 2017, also claimed to the New York Times he had referred to her as jailbait throughout their time working together, and that he routinely made comments on her appearance. And after filming one video in 2017, she alleges he groped her. After forcefully telling him to stop, he reportedly ran out of the room. Rayleigh quit not long after, candidly stating, "I was with Jake for months, and I saw what kind of person he was behind the scenes, and what kind of person he put out to the rest of the world."
How much money have you made?
A lot. I don't know. It gets to a point where you make so much that you don't even count it anymore.
The Paul brothers have curated a very specific image of how they want the public to perceive them. Making themselves out to be these infamous villains of YouTube means that everyone just naturally expects them to be assholes, and thus allows them to get away with more. For years, Logan and Jake have taken turns being the more annoying of the two. Logan will mess up and get into some trouble in the woods, so Jake becomes the lesser of two evils, until he gets caught promoting the most egregious scam an influencer has ever done, until Logan decides to outdo him. It's just been a competition to see who can be the worst brother since they stumbled their way into the limelight as teenagers. While you may expect people who have spent so much of their adolescence living a very public life of luxury and opulence to at least mature as time goes on, you may be surprised to learn just how consistently awful these two have always been. And a big reason for that is that they are literally financially incentivized to do so. The Paul brothers didn't earn 9 figures by being good people. They've intentionally crossed boundaries because that's what benefits them more than anything else. Without sufficient talent, Jake Paul is left scrambling to stir as much controversy as he can so people can continue talking about what an asshole he is. Over the years, this has consisted of burning mattresses in his pool, getting himself sued for being a public nuisance, freeloading clout from people with more talent than him, calling out bigger names to fight him, and most consistently, peddling obvious scams to the audience of children he has very specifically targeted. The women who have come forward with their own disturbing allegations of him tend to get shoved to the side, since Jake generates new headlines every other week. He's always keeping himself in the news cycle, but never takes accountability for anything he does, making his grift just as endless and lucrative as the one his brother has been pushing for years. To me, Logan and Jake each represent everything wrong with the internet. Two entitled blowhards who haven't had to struggle for anything in life, using controversy as a device to get ahead since they have nothing else of value to offer, while using and hurting the people around them in the meantime. They're not good people, they don't deserve attention, and they're not gonna stop anytime soon. But it is fun to hate on them at least.
Keep on, keep running.
No, Logan Paul is not still good, or Logan Paul didn't like fucking fix his shit. He actually, Jabri did a really wonderful video on the false redemption of Logan Paul and never ending grift. But yeah.